Okay, so basic algebra. Now, this is a typical sort of basic algebra equation. Okay, and they'll ask you to find x. They want to find the value of x. Now, all x is a number or a value that we don't know. Now, if we look at this, x plus 2 equals 6. So something plus 2 equals 6. Now, I'm sure you probably know that 4 plus 2 equals 6. So x must equal 4. But we have to show it. So when basic algebra is taught in schools and for beginners, it's made quite long-winded, I think unnecessarily so. So what they would do, for example, is here we want x on its own. So to get x on its own, we would subtract 2 from this side. So it will be x plus 2 minus 2. So consequently the two 2's would cancel one another out, just leaving us the x. But what we do to one side, we must do to the other. So if I subtract 2 from this side, I must subtract 2 from this side. So we would have x plus 2 minus 2 would just leave us x, and then we would be left with 6 minus 2. So obviously then 6 equals 4. So we've shown that x equals 4 using what we call mathematical rigour. Now I find this very laborious this way. So if we look over here, I have a rule when I'm doing algebra generally, is that I will physically move numbers. So if I move a number in either direction, the sign will change, the operation will change. So if I move this 2 over to here, instead of plus 2, it becomes minus 2, which you can see here. So it means that we don't have to do this fiddling round here. So if I give you an example, let's say 2x plus 4 equals 16. Now, other teachers would say, okay, well, we subtract 4 from both sides. Now, I don't do that. I'm going to move this over to here. So the 2x stays still, and that's going to equal 16 because that hasn't moved. And this plus 4, remember the sign changes, becomes minus 4. So 2x will equal 16 minus 4, which is 12. So if 2 things cost £12, one thing must cost 6. And that's your answer. So let's do one, say, with the negative in it. So let's say we have 3x minus 5 equals 10. I want to know what x equals, so I have to get the x's on their own. So this is going to come over here. So I have 3x equals 10. Now this is a minus 5, so the sign changes, so it becomes plus 5. So 3x equals 15. So if 3 things cost £15, one thing must cost £5. Now I urge you to, this is what we call algebraic notation, I would urge you to write it in this way, in step-by-step form. Okay, in the exam this will only ever be worth 1 mark. Now this question might be worth, say, 2 or 3 marks. The other marks are for this, the working out. They want to see working out. Okay, so this is basic algebra, and what I'll do now is I'll do basic algebra 2, and I'll try and make it more complicated to see if I can make you cry, but trust me, it's very, very simple. Okay, so we'll move on to the next video.